בתפילה, אויס קוב ד'. שמעתי מפי קודשו של מוירי החוסד האלוקי, רב בעל שם טוב ז"ל, שהזהיר על הזריזes והזהירס בעסק התפילה אנשים כערכנו. He's speaking to people that are on a deeper level, that they actually take themselves seriously. They believe that what they think and what they say matters. And they believe it so strongly that they take everything seriously. That belief is obviously not the truth, because no one can take things seriously enough, but that's obviously much closer to the truth. And so people like that, they shouldn't look to the other people who are ignoring what they're saying and what they're thinking and say, oh, at least I'm much better than them. No, that would be a terrible mistake. As seriously as you're taking it, you're not taking it seriously enough. And so the Baal Shem Tov would warn people who are at this level, that they already are people who understand. So he would explain to them further in order to motivate them more. He should be able to save himself from strange thoughts. What are strange thoughts? Thoughts of strangers. Who are strangers? Those who don't appreciate existence. And so when we have machshava zoros, we have to know how to overcome. V'omar b'shem Gisa Rav Chosid Gershon Keteve זכרנו לברכה שאמר משל יופי על האנושים שאינם מרגישים כלל בתפילוסם או במחשבה זורם לאו. He says some people when they daven, they say every day it works. I haven't seen ever a problem. Why do people say that sometimes they can daven, sometimes they can't daven? I daven and it happens and it's good. And where's the issue? ואומר משל כהי דרך אחד מסוכן מאוד, there was a dangerous path, והוא שצריך ללך דרך יער, שיש שם מחבואים של גזלונים ושודדים. There were a lot of dangers on the way of being robbed and harassed, and the people had to go through somehow the jungle and find their way. These robbers are always waiting who will pass through so that they can jump on him. So whenever they would find someone coming through, they would jump on him and take whatever he has. Everybody would run through this forest. They were always afraid that someone shouldn't come and rob them. So till they notice that they came, they're already going to be gone, so they don't have time to catch up with them. Pam achas, oh, sorry about that. We're in the middle. We're talking about the story of a metaphor about people who don't realize whether their prayer is coming from the depth of their heart or it's just them saying words. So to them it seems like every day they're doing the same prayer. And so he's giving a metaphor to that as a forest where there's a lot of dangers. There are robbers that are pouncing on every opportunity, on every passerby in order to take everything that he has. And so people that know about these robbers, when they go through, they make sure to run fast in order to not get caught by them. So by the time they notice they're in, they're already out. So that they shouldn't have time to run after them. So, there were two people that were traveling through that forest. One of them was completely drunk. The other one was sober. ונוסם דרך היער, זה שהישולם בשכלוי, נוסה במהירס גודל. The one that was sober, he was rushing. עד שעובר בשולם סייע בלי פגע. He went fast, so they didn't catch him. חברי השן השקר הולך לאט לאט פסיעה אחר פסיעה. The drunk one was going very slow. ורוצחם היתרפם היסב היקי היסב ויסב בחבילס יפצוהם. They heard him, but he was so drunk, ולא הרגיש בדבר כלל מאחר שקריס הגודל, he couldn't feel anything. So to him, he didn't feel that there was any problem. ואחר זה פוגו זה בזה, then they met each other, the two travelers, ואומר דרישן ותומס עצמי, על זה שייני ושאולו עושה, איך ניצלת שלומי סועסך בקוז גדול לשאול סליחה, didn't you die? He asked the other guy. והשייני השקר, מתמס עצמי, על תמיוסת שזה, yes, I didn't understand the problem. ואומר אני יודע שום דבר שעושה לו, he doesn't remember anything. כי לדעת הולך בלי פגע, he just passed through the forest with no issue. עד שרישן הרלה במרס הפצועים והחבירה שבכל עבוריו. Then he showed him in the mirror how he looks. He said, yeah, you didn't realize, but you fell right into the trap. וגם קצום אדם, והוא נשב את מיוסו ואין זוכר כלל, ואנים שמיר מעצמוי. So the nimshal is that when a person is trying to create in the world of speech, his intention is the entire driver of whether he's investing his life force in something meaningful or he's just wasting his time and his effort and his energy. And so if a person realizes what it means, then he might have issues that some days he's not in the right mood, and so his mind won't go where he wants it to go, and then he might lose. Urges that he doesn't want to manifest might come in at a time when he's trying to connect. And so for him, he will see a difference. But someone who doesn't even understand because he's drunk, he doesn't understand what's being said, he doesn't understand the goal of the ritual. So for him, he's like, I don't know, I just did it. It's fine. It's good. Moving on. Everything worked. That's from the Divrei Moshe. Bit of an arichas, but we got there. The other one is also not short, but let's see. קוף הבעל שם טוב הקודש ז"ל אומר מה שבא לעוד המחשב הזה שמדבר במועצה בש"ס תפילה אדרבה סימן טוב. Oh, starts off in a positive. It says if someone has confusing thoughts while he's trying to pray, it's a good sign. Al pi mashal, he gives a metaphor. If you don't believe him, he can always explain it in a metaphor. ולפני מלך בשר אדום, יש כמה מחיצות ושומרים לפסוחים. When there's a king, a human king, not everybody can go into the king and say what he has to say. You might have something very urgent to the king, but first you're going to have to convince a lot of people that it's urgent for the king before you're going to even see if it's urgent for the king. And so there has a lot of different layers of protection. That people shouldn't just be able to come close. בפעמים מזדמן שאחד רוצה ללך עם המבוקש של המלך והשומרים יודעים שזה יהיה רע להם. So sometimes it's important for the king, yes indeed, but it's not going to work well for the guy who is supposed to let you in. And so you want to get into the king because the king wants you there, and you know he's going to appreciate what you have to say, but what you're going to tell the king is not suitable to the one who is guarding at the door. ואז אם זה הולך אין חושב והוגן, if this is one who's coming is not on a higher level that he has to respect him, ברבדש להם שלא יפו כצויני, כי המלך לא ישגיח עליו כלל. אז תקף כשזה יש עמל השם שינחו לה ולפסוחם והמחיצס תקף פה ישכם לו כי מה אכפת לו. מה שאין כן אם זה איש ישר וחושב לפני המלך, אז יש תמיתי כמשתמת לו וכל יכולת להתחסם ולך ושב. He says, if the person that's coming is an important person, then the guard will be much more careful. He shouldn't let him in. Because he knows if he comes in front of the king and he says what he has to say, then I'm out of a job. And so I'm not going to let him go ahead, say what he has to say. I'm going to stand his way. If he's someone simple that he doesn't think the king will listen to him, He says, you want to go, you go. Knock yourself out. Because he doesn't think the king is going to listen to this man. And so what does he have to fear? But if he's afraid that this man, if he goes into the king, is going to be effective, then he says, this man, I can't let this man in. I have to find every way to block him. The same thing goes for the prayer. Prayer is when the parts of the Creator that have sunk into complete hiddenness, where there's concealment, where we can't see the light, we can't feel the light. And when we pray, the darkness is going towards the light and asking for light. And so by doing that, we're bringing light into the darkness. This is what's eventually going to remove the darkness. And so when we pray, we are in the darkness and we're turning towards the light. We're asking for light. We're calling in the light. And so we're mikasher to bring up the sparks of light that have been dressed in darkness and reveal their light. Give the sparks of light a dress that is light. To reveal what was hidden from this spark. This spark forgot where he came from. He forgot the desire that created him. We need to reattach him to that desire in order for him to live. And so when we're doing that, we're taking away from the other side sparks that they were feeding on. The darkness was feeding on these sparks, and we want to attach them to the holiness. So you're bringing up Netzatzes HaKadoshis, holy sparks, from the other side, and from all the low things. V'zeh ra lehem, this is not good for the other side. Then there's going to be less darkness. לכן, אם יש פושט בו להספר לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא, שגם בלאו אוכל תפילוס איננו כל כך כהויגן, ולתעשה בהם רושם, אז מניחן עושה והם מבלבלן עושה כל כך. If his prayer is not going to be meaningful, they let him pray. Every day he has the same prayer. He doesn't see a problem. Why would he have a problem? No one cares. You can keep talking, fool. מה שאין כן באיש היורה, a person who has a heart, then they're concerned. This guy might actually cause some sparks to find light, and then we're out of a job. So they're going to come and bother him. His prayer will make fruit in the bottom and roots on top. Then the Sitra Achra comes with their whole power. They confuse him with strange thoughts, with thoughts that go against reality, that want to fight with reality. One who has seichel, and he understands how things really work, in those moments, he doesn't let go, he screams out. Look at them, look at what they're doing to me. I'm your son, you created me because you love me, and look at what they're doing to my mind. Look at what they're doing to my heart. Look at what's happening to me. So if they go against you and they want to confuse you, use that as fuel to give them the finishing blow, because that's exactly what they're afraid of. Wake up even more against them. This is the whole purpose of how it was designed, that to make us stronger. They're challenging us to make us stronger. We're not facing things because we feel too weak. So they're challenging us. They're not going to let us rest. We're not ready to face the full problem. They'll give us pieces of problems. We're going to face stuff until we're ready to face whatever needs to be faced. And so he's waiting for us to pray, meaning if you're in the darkness, reach out to the light. That's the design of how your soul works. ואז נפתחים לכל המחיצות והפסוחים. Then he opens up all the concealments, all the separations, all the doors. וגורם תיקון הרוי. Then there's real repair to what was destroyed in the first place, to what was damaged. Whatever was wrong in the soul becomes right. And that's the lahalas anitzotz nagdoshim, to return the sparks. These sparks are sparks in you. Everyone that's coming against you, inside of you, is also you. These are all sparks of soul. That maybe we dressed up as angry, maybe we dressed up as sad, maybe we dressed up as afraid. And then they come back to us as machshavas zoros, as thoughts that contradict reality, that are in conflict with reality. They're all sparks of our own soul. We have to show all of them the light. Then we can elevate all the sparks. Ipoel Yeshua, this is what brings relief to this planet. This is what brings relief to humanity. This is what brings salvation, is when we can cleanse ourselves from all the parts of us that are trying to fight with what is. And to put all that energy to work to improve what is, so that we can love what is. Because you can never win a fight with what is, but we can learn to improve it, and we can learn to love it, and then there will be no conflict with what is ever again. And so this brings salvation. This brings forth the renewal of the soul. When we can tap into real prayer, to really opening the heart and expressing. This is the nature of the spiritual. This is the nature of the soul. This is how we bring forth more soul to guide us, to show us truth, to open our hearts, to allow our organs to be aligned with the original will. And this is what will bring us to the final redemption, to what everybody's been waiting for thousands of years. Humanity's been in a confusion, in a slumber, in a state where they're between life and death, between awake and asleep. And we're waiting to be woken up. Woken up is to live. We're waiting to live. This is why we're not meant to be mamale apet tzchok ba'olam hazeh. We can't be fulfilled in this type of situation. This situation is not a good situation for humanity. This is not our natural habitat. We're in an artificial environment. And so only when our hearts will open and we will connect to something bigger, that something bigger will give us the intelligence so that we can save ourselves. And that's what we're all waiting for. That's all we could ever wait for. Until then, we're waiting. There's no other choice. So may it happen now.